Hello, my little philharmonic orchestras. Today we're going to talk grids. A grid is any set of parallel lines. Technically, lined paper is a grid, so they don't have to intersect. We're going to be making some intersecting grids. I'm going to show you 3 techniques that can be done with either just a straight edge and a pencil or the homemade compass, a straight edge and a pencil. We don't need numbers for this, but you do need a parallel straight edge because we're going to be making a perpendicular regular grid. Perpendicular regular grid means squares, all right angles, all equal distances. We're going to be making a diagonal grid, parallelograms. So all of these sides are the same size, but the angles are different on 2 of the sides. And finally, the most challenging of all, we're going to be making an isometric grid. Equilateral triangles, 60 degrees all the way around. Let's go down. Look at all this good stuff. A pencil and a straight edge, scissors, cardboard, thumbtacks. I only need 1 thumbtack. As best you can, line it up against the edge of the paper and draw a line. That line is now parallel to that paper edge. I'm lining up to that line I just made. Going again. And I'm going to keep doing this. So, all parallel lines, I turn my paper, and I do the same thing in the opposite direction. Now, since I'm using the same straight edge I used going in one direction, I am making squares. So now you have a square grid. We didn't use any measurements whatsoever. We just kept it square to itself. To make a diagonal grid, we're going to start with our lines going across in one direction. To make them diagonal, I can go wherever. I didn't put too much thought into it, did I? I just went for it. Line up to that angle again. I am creating parallel lines. These are all parallelograms. For our isometric grid, we're going to need a few more tools. Essentially, I'm making a hexagon. So I have my center point and my circle around it. Now I can pick any point. I just made 2 arcs. So now I have 2 new points. So I'm going to go to one of the points, and I'm going to swing a new arc. Work all the way around this puppy until I have 6 intersections. I'm going to connect them. Except I'm going to go across the whole paper. Now I'm going to connect 2 more. I'm going to go across the whole paper again. I've divided this circle into 6. If I connect my outside edges, I will have a hexagon. Why stop there when we're making a grid? I connected the 2 points to make a side of the hexagon, but I kept going. You can see this line is kind of parallel to the ruler. And that is good. You definitely want that. I can continue making this grid outward. So I have to take my compass point again. I have to swing another arc. I've created a point here. Now I have this point and this point. From those 2 points, going to make another line. Now I have a new set of intersections. It is not hard, it's time consuming. It's just about finding a set of intersections and expanding from there. Not gonna lie, I'm cheating just a little. Any small imperfection in measurement gets exaggerated as it goes outward from center. So what may have looked like a perfect hexagon, as we radiate outward, those imperfections that are human will become more and more pronounced. So I'm using these points that I've created, but I'm also using this distance right along here and making it look parallel to that line, just eyeballing it and using my best judgment. So there is an isometric grid. These are all equilateral triangles. We now have 3 different grids. Why? Setting aside the fact that Mr. Bushy is a creature of chaos, and these are all very orderly. Setting up a grid is crucial if you're going to make a tessellated or repeated shape or any sort of regular pattern. So those grids are going to be very useful in the creation of a tessellation. We are human, and humans make mistakes. Chaos, baby, chaos. I mean, not Mr. Bushy. I only made this mistake as a teaching tool. Chaos, baby, chaos. I don't make mistakes. What are you doing? I'm sanding off the numbers. Mr. Bushy said I don't need them. You know you can just turn the ruler around and there's no numbers on the other side, right? Whoa.